news all around the world. No matter where you are, or who you are, or what you do, this news is for you. So thank you for joining us here today at News You Can Use with Dr. Lotus Rashay and the remarkable Queen of the Lymphatic Bounce, Dr. Hillary Gooden, as we share more news that you can use. Let's go. All right. Woo. Hey. Woo. All right now. Woo-wee. I just love that introduction. This your girl, Lotus Rashay, and I am here to say welcome to News That You Can Use, and we are talking about summer wellness and how to capitalize on a healthy diet. Yes, how to capitalize on a healthy diet by having summer wellness. And so listen, we're going to help you tonight because we have a phenomenal lady who was like the rugby captain for a wonderful rugby team right in Japan. Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. And listen, I want to help you come on into the studio, tell your friends, and even tell your frenemies to come on in because it's time to win with Dr. Lotus Rashay and the amazing Queen of the Lymphatic Bounce. You also know her. She's a pastor. None other than Dr. Hillary Gooden. So listen, while you come on in, I am going to go backstage and I'm going to get Pastor Hillary. But before I do that, guess what? We're going to do a little something different tonight. I haven't even told Pastor Hillary about it. She doesn't even know. Listen, Pastor Hillary is a lymphologist. And many of you that follow us, you know that she's a lymphologist, right? And she really helps people get the real help they need. So before we start the show, we're going to pay some bills and say thank you to many of our sponsors. And guess what? We're going to let Dr. Hillary have the first word before we even get the show started. I'll be right back.
Hi, busy women leaders. I'm talking to you. Are you juggling your family, your business, your career, and your health? Afraid that if just one ball drops to the ground, everything could fall apart because everybody's looking at you. You're stressed and overwhelmed. You're looking for answers, for help that's real help, for solutions. I have Vibrant Life Solutions that can help you. I am Hillary Gooden, the Vibrant Life Coach, author, speaker, lymphologist, and pastor. I empower busy women leaders with strategies to reduce stress and anxiety while increasing energy, clarity of mind, better sleep, better health, and vitality. Oh yeah, and boost your immunity. If you're ready for that, you say, I need that in my life right now. Let's connect. You can reach me at www.hillarygooden.com. You can direct message me on Facebook or LinkedIn at Hillary Gooden. Or else if you would like to get on a free 20-minute strategy call, a clarity call, go to bit.ly/Hillary Gooden. That's bit.ly/Hillary Gooden. I absolutely believe you got the power to help your body, help you live a more vibrant life.
Hello, and welcome to the show. And of course, I get the amazing ability to sit here with the co-host, the hostess with the mostest, the amazing Queen of the Lymphatic Bounce, Pastor Miss Hillary Gooden. Hey!
Well, that's such an awesome introduction. Thank you so much to our host tonight. And she's the hostess with the mostest, For real, for real. And so, hey, Dr. Lolo, I'm so glad to be back on the show with you.
All right. Well, I'm definitely happy to be on the show with you tonight. And tonight, of course, we're going to be helping people in a myriad of ways. We're going to be talking about summer wellness, but primarily focusing on capitalizing on a healthy diet. Okay. And what it means to have summer wellness. So, Hill, I know you're a lymphologist and you teach people all around the world how to be healthy with the lymphatic system. So, I mean, are you ready for this topic tonight? Because we got an excellent guest tonight.
I'm excited because of our excellent guest that we have on tonight. She always has such I want to say profound input when when we do the shows as a in the audience, from the audience. And so it's exciting to have her on the show tonight to listen firsthand with her voice. It's going to be great.
Yes, it's going to be fantastic. So I'm super excited too. So listen, folks, we'd like you to come on in. And when you come on in, go ahead and tag a friend, and let us know where you're coming in from. And also, what else should they do, Queen of the
Make sure you have your notepad. Wait a minute. It's a far reach. But it's never too far away. Make sure you have your notepad and a pen, because you never know what you might hear that you need to glean as a nugget for your life.
That's what I'm talking about. So notepad and pen is going to always help you win. You know why? Because note takers are money makers and note takers are change makers. But Hill, they can't make change if they don't do what with those notes?
Oh, you got to use them. You got to make use of the information.
That's
You have
right.
to do it. Be a doer. Like the word of God says, you got to be a doer, not just a hearer only.
Ha ha ha. I love it. Be a doer of the word, not just a hearer. So with no further ado, we're going to come right back to you, and we're going to go backstage, and we're going to get our amazing guest. She's a wonderful person. She's a founder of Rugged Wellness. She's a certified life coach, a CPR trainer. She's a suicide intervention trainer. She's a Guinness World Record holder for 2020, and she's a #1 international selling author, and she's a Naturally Plus affiliate, and she's a speaker. Yes, she's a speaker. So listen, here's the thing. Why don't you give her some love? So put some L's in the comment before she even come on. We want to give her a hearty hello and welcome to the show. Please welcome amazing Rugged Wellness CEO or founder, Miss Angie Elton. Woo woo!
Hey, welcome. See you on this side.
Yeah.
Great to be on this side.
Hi, great to see you. You're always so awesome, Angie. So can you tell us a little bit more about you? Because I told them all these things about you, but I didn't tell them that you speak Japanese, you speak English, you speak a little French, you speak Spanish. Oh, no, you tell them.
Well, I dabble in a few of those languages. I do speak Japanese and English fluently, having lived in Japan for most of my life, where Japan is my birthright. And I love to play sports. While living in Japan, I had the privilege of playing rugby with the women's national team, and even serving as a captain for 1 year for one great season that allowed my team for the very first time to qualify for a World Cup in the sevens rugby competition.
Awesome. So we're delighted and happy to have you. And tonight, we're talking about a topic that a lot of people, I really hadn't heard of the topic about summer wellness. I really hadn't heard about that before until I talked to you. And then we added capitalizing on a healthy diet. So I'm super happy to have you here. You are always doing some great stuff with food. So I'm my taste buds are just tantalized about the discussion and the talk that we're gonna have tonight.
Let's ask a question first for both you, Lotus, and Hillary. Let me ask you a question.
Oh, wait a minute. You about to put us in the hot seat.
Right, I'm on the hot seat from the very beginning.
Oh, wow.
All right. So when you think of summer,
That's all right.
So when you think of summer, what do you think of?
I think a
Being
bird chirped.
outdoors.
Yeah.
Okay, being outdoors, the sound. What else?
I think
Mm,
I think of more of smoothies, more
mhm.
of fruits, more
Fruits.
Yeah.
fruits. Yeah, as far as
Yeah.
diet
Uh,
is concerned,
I see the
more
hot
salads.
there.
Yeah, I think of people having gatherings, huge gatherings, like family reunions and things of that nature, weddings, receptions, class reunions. A lot of those things
Yeah.
happen during the summer, and a lot of travel to resorts and places like that, and
Yes.
kids playing and frolicking. So people are touching everybody and touching things and stuff like that. And I think of ice cream and snow cones.
Absolutely. So, everything that you said in common, some of the central theme when it comes to summer is
Mhm.
also food,
Right,
right? Food happens to bring us more together in the summertime because we're
mhm,
outdoors
right.
and about the various events that we're doing when we're outdoors. We might be barbecuing, we might be having a picnic,
Mhm.
uh, we might be on the beach, right? We might be on the lake, and there's always food involved.
Exactly.
Always food involved. And so it's always a happy time because, we don't really grill much in the wintertime. Or
Hmm.
someone is grilling, but we're all congregating out there, right? We might be huddling over a fire, but there's not a lot of great food cooking going on outside in the winter.
Exactly.
Like it's vibrant. We think of being colorful and exciting, and there's all kinds of great food that we can enjoy as well.
Mhm. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And I
All
love that
righty.
you're sharing that. She put us in the hot seat early on the show, y'all.
I was just thinking. I
You
was just thinking. She just came right in the door and pulled out the hot seat for us. Really?
exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
So I want to welcome
She said,
Nanette.
"Let
Hey,
me get them first."
yeah, hey Nanette, how you doing? Nanette Sanchez is on with us. I want to say hi
Hey,
to
Nanette.
Nanette. I want to say hi to Jade Marie and everybody that's coming on. Thank you so much. Make sure you like and share this broadcast. Share this broadcast, tag somebody, and let us know where you're coming in from. And I think Jade Marie had a comment, so I'm gonna grab that comment right now. She said, "Just want to greet all y'all happy Independence Day in advance. Uh, it will
Yes,
be a
yes, yes.
long weekend and keep safe out there.
Keep
You guys
safe.
always have an amazing show, empowering people and sending positive vibes. Well, thank you, Jay Marie. We appreciate you.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
we appreciate Nanette too, and everybody that's out there that's about to stream in. So, Angela, thank you for sharing that. We know that you put us in the hot seat, and we're going to return the favor. So
Yes.
can you? I'm gonna pass the mic right to him.
So, Miss Angie, you don't mind me calling you Miss Angie, do you?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. So, Miss Angie, what is a healthy diet?
Well, I'm not a nutrition or a nutritionist, but growing up playing sports, I've always eaten healthy. So really, a healthy diet is ho- for me, it's more of homegrown food. But a healthy diet is a good combination of fruits and vegetables. Uh, I think of less sodium, less sugar, and less fat when it comes to a healthy diet, and having that great combination. The reason why I say that is because when we think of healthy, you know, we think of, people think about salads, think about smoothies as Hillary had mentioned earlier, but it doesn't necessarily have to be smoothies and salads. All the foods that we eat, as long as it's in moderation of sugar, salt, and fat, can constitute a great healthy diet, and not too much of it.
Mhm. I have been adding slices of cucumber to my
Cucumber,
meals, cucumbers. And
cucumber.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know what it is about cucumbers. I know it's good for you, but it's just something look like lately. I just want to have some nicely sliced cucumbers with almost anything that I'm eating. So,
Right.
they're kind of refreshing too. So,
Yes, they are.
uh, and then they're good to put on your eyes, so we can use our food for other things as well.
You
Yeah.
know,
So,
you're
when
right.
you say, I noticed that you, I'm sorry,
You're right.
I noticed that you really do love to cook, and you cook with things that some of the stuff I've never heard of before. Is this because of your upbringing in Japan?
I think it is. I grew up being from Okinawa, Japan. It's a small southern island of Japan, and it's a melting pot of Southeast Asian cultures. And so when she met my dad, my father being in the Air Force, being in the military for 22 years, but she met a lot of other Asian women from various Southeast Asian countries. So she had friends from Thailand, Korea, Indonesia, China, Philippines. And so she learned about their cooking. And so that was incorporated into the foods that I ate as well. And it wasn't until I was an adult when I realized that those foods came from those places. Like I grew up eating kimchi, which is fermented cabbage, which comes originated from Korea, or even
Okay.
adobo chicken, and that's basically a spice or a flavoring, a seasoning that originated in the Philippines.
Hmm.
So a lot of the foods that
Hmm.
I seasonings that I use is all incorporated from those various cultures. Plus, having traveled a lot from playing sports and visiting other countries, I always like to try various foods. I like to try various seasonings. And I'm a great avid fan of Pinterest. So I'm not trying to put a plug on Pinterest, but I look on Pinterest to find various types of recipes. And I don't follow the recipes to
Okay.
the I use the recipes as research, as the various combinations to look at and to explore.
All right. So I would
Okay.
love to bring up some of the pictures of some of the food that you typically share. And I know you always send your friends and your clients and folks like that pictures of your food. So I of course went to your page and I noticed you don't have a lot of food on your page, but I know you send it in private message. So after we take a break,
Yeah.
I'd love to see some of the meals that you share. Would that be okay?
Sure. And it's really not on the page in itself. I actually share it as a story. So
Hmm.
pretty much every day the foods that I eat, what that I make, I always post it there.
Hmm.
Kind of generated through Facebook and as well as Instagram. So if you look at the Instagram, you'll see various pictures through there.
Okay, so the people that are Instagram savvy, I'll let them go ahead and do it. So I'm gonna still ask you for you to share some of the pictures after we take a quick break. But before we take a quick break, you're not gonna get out of the hot seat so easy. We want to know what
No,
makes
no.
the summer different, and why do we have some, some summer wellness? What does that have to do with wellness?
Well, I think that what makes summer different and why we have summer wellness is that similar to like what we talked about the idea of summer, you know, utilizing the sun, the vitamin C from the sun, right? And
Hmm.
it brings out a lot of nutrition for all of our fruits and vegetables.
Right.
And it's different from the winter time where most of the food is being made through a lot of greenhouses,
Hmm.
right? So, and then you also have to be cautious about pesticides, GMOs, and things like that. But the summer really, there's so many things that you can do in the summertime, whether it's with food or even without food, but with
Hmm.
exercise, you can have fun,
Hmm.
being outside,
Right.
enjoying the summer heat, the
Hmm.
summer rays, the summer breeze, where you
Hmm.
can't get that as much during the winter months.
Right. Okay, well, I'm happy that you shared that with us. We just love to get some secret sauce on who you are and what you do. And before we go to a quick break, I know that you have founded a company or organization, if you will, and it's called Rugger Wellness. And folks, you can check her out. Check out her Wellness right there on Facebook. And we know that you do a lot with another company right out of Japan that is also really focused on the health and well-being of people, and it's called Naturally Plus. So later on, we'd like to talk to you a little bit about Naturally Plus USA and why you wanted to utilize some of the products that you use. And of course, myself, I'm an affiliate, and our lymphatic queen of the lymphatic bounce is an affiliate, and we drink Izumia water. So we'd love to kind of dabble in that when we come back from this brief break. So we're going to take a quick break, folks. Go ahead, and if you have not tagged a person, if you have not shared this broadcast, if you have not connected somebody with what we're doing right here, because we're talking about summer wellness and how to really create and capitalize on your diet. What are you waiting for? Go ahead, connect with somebody and tell them to come on in, because we've got a phenomenal lady here today, the founder of Rugger Wellness herself, as she helps
Right
you
there.
expand your reach and raise your revenue. We'll be right back. It's time for Rugger Wellness. We all know that drinking water helps you replenish your body. And with technology from Naturally Plus, it improves your immune system, and it gives you the opportunity to expand your stream of income. Well, here at Rugger Wellness, we want you to be a part of our family and experience the quality of life as we drink Insumio. Grab yours today. Hey. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. So, so we're back, folks. We're back, folks, and that's a great commercial that you have there for Rugged Wellness. We're happy to have you here today, Miss Angela Elton, as we're talking about summer wellness, capitalizing on health, a healthy diet. And those of you that have not shared this broadcast, we double dog dare you, share this broadcast, because our phenomenal guest just has a myriad of accomplishments, but primarily capitalizing on her health, and her diet has gotten her where she is today. And so, as she shared with us earlier, she does a lot of things when it comes to sharing different foods. And of course, we talked about the fact that she is a Naturally Plus affiliate. So, if you look on here, we're going to go right to this one. Can you tell us what this is, and why you created that particular thing? It looks like oatmeal or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. Go ahead.
So um, I love to eat all kinds of foods,
Mhm.
and I'm not a traditional breakfast eater necessarily. And I didn't start eating oatmeal until I was an adult. I didn't grow up eating it as a child. And my idea of oatmeal, when I see it or hear about it, it's very similar to eating a rice porridge. The Japanese
Mhm.
eat a lot of rice, and they tend to eat it as a porridge, especially when you're
Mhm.
sick. But I know that oatmeal is not the case. But when I eat oatmeal, I like to add variety every time. So I always have some type of a fruit. I always have some nuts and seeds, and I use my fruits are used as a sugar substitute. So I use a combination of fresh and even frozen. So in this dish here, there's frozen blueberries here.
Mhm.
I also like to use, and then you can see the orange, that's actually dried peaches. So I like
Mhm.
dried fruits as well.
Right.
Uh,
And may I add? I just wanted to add something, because I don't see this often where people are adding these type of things to their oatmeal. So I think it's pretty phenomenal. But with the peaches, I recently learned that peaches help to prevent mucus. It helps to get rid of mucus. So for you to add that's amazing.
Yeah. So, all of these fruits is really your antioxidants, all your vitamins. So we tend to not get enough of it, and I try to ensure that I add, for every meal, to try to add at least 3 to 4 types of fruits and vegetables, with the meal.
Okay.
In some way.
And so let me ask you this, because sometimes people will say, well, too much fruit, especially for diabetics, may not be good. And so I know you do a lot with like smoothies and things of that nature. And one in particular, you've done green smoothies, you've done pink smoothies. So can you talk to us about not having too much fruit in the diet, and then how you create some of the things you create?
Right. So the key is that sugar intake. Have less sugar intake, and we can use sugar using all types of sources. When we talk about natural, that usually comes from all your fruits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's bananas, berries, apples, right? So you want to choose fruits that are lower in sugar, depending on yourself. So possibly if you're diabetic, you don't want to have uh, fruits that are high in sugar. So sometimes bananas are high in sugar. So don't use a whole banana. Maybe use a half a banana or a quarter of a banana. Even and then even with berries, some of your raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries have less sugar than like strawberries might have. Um, you want to use more, and then even try to stay away from dried fruits. You'd rather have fresh fruits rather than dried fruits. It tends to become sweeter when they're dry, and try to stay away. Sometimes even with natural sugars or substitutes like
Mm-hmm.
honey, try to limit the amount of honey that you might use. What Even if you're using any kind of raw honey, you might be using a manuka honey, uh, raw cane sugar, and then try to stay away from any kind of sugar substitutes, or try to limit as much of that as possible.
Right. And so let me ask you this, because I've heard that raw honeys or manuka honeys are good for the body, and primarily because of how the manuka honey is made. And typically you find it's huge in Australia and some other places, but primarily Australia is where I use my manuka honey from. So can you tell me a little bit about that? Why is it important for us, if we're going to use something, a sugar in our diet? Why should it be like a raw sugar, something natural?
You need those that are natural. Those that are processed um, can provide more of a chemical imbalance in your body.
Mhm.
Uh, if we're not careful, if you're eating more processed foods, like if we're talking about breakfast, and if you're eating breakfast cereals, a lot of those cereals are chock full of sugar, or even sugar chemicals, names that we may
Yeah.
not be familiar with. Anything
Right.
with an OSE, like
Mhm.
sucrose or dextrose,
Mhm.
those are
Mhm.
all, or maltose,
Mhm.
those are all sugar.
Mhm. Right.
Maple syrup is also good for you if you
Mhm.
use
Mhm.
a grade B, so the higher
Mhm.
quality of
Right.
honeys and syrups and things like that. But
Right.
really have to be cautious, because if we think about when we think about sugar, what do we think about? What happens? What's the result of of having too much sugar?
Mhm.
It also turns into fat,
Mhm.
right? And then that leads to a lot of health issues that many people have: cardiovascular
Mhm.
issues, diabetes,
Mhm.
stroke are some examples.
Okay. So Hillary, I really wanted to bring this up, processed foods, because a lot of processed foods, in my opinion, they should be avoided, not only because of sugars, high levels of sugars, and the word sugar is given so many different names, like Angie just shared, but also because of
Yes.
the high sodium intake. High sodium intake. It's crazy. I looked at a can of um, um, what do you call it? Not the spaghettios,
Tuna.
spaghettios.
Oh,
Yeah, and
yeah.
tuna. But I looked at spaghettios. Spaghettios had over 700 milligrams of salt in it. And a lot of kids eat spaghettios, this
Yes.
beefaroni and all these things from a myriad of companies. And so I took pictures and videos with my phone. And when I looked at it, I was shocked, Hill. I was shocked. So what does that do to the lymphatic system, Hillary?
Well, that can cause your lymphatic system because it's stressing the body. And when you stress the body, when you stress your cells, that it causes more waste, and the more waste that the body has to deal with, if your it can stress your lymphatic system, it can stress your digestive system, everything can get stressed and then not work as efficiently together as they're supposed to, because they're so hard just trying to keep you alive.
Right. Wow, wow. And a lot of times people don't realize how much salt they're eating because they're not
Yeah.
really looking at um, the labels on the back. I want to share something with you all, if I may, that I found doing some research of my own. And so, Angie, you are just you come and drop the mic already here when we talk about sugars and salt and all that. And here's an article that I found from the Lymphatic Research and Biology. This is a journal that was shared and here, and we don't own the rights to this, and we're just using this to share with you. And it says a high salt diet alters pressure induced mechanical activity of the rat lymphatics with enhanced in Maya. Okay, so they did a study and the pressure was induced. Okay, it increased. Okay, and high salt diets and high sugar diets are just a no for the lymphatic system. Okay, so wow, we really need to
When you
avoid processed food at all costs. And if you don't know what processed foods are, uh, maybe Angie and the queen of the lymphatic balance can share some of what processed foods are.
Well, we get a lot of processed foods like hot dogs and packaged meat. Different foods like you talked about, spaghettios, and even foods that are in frozen
Yes.
packages. In order for them to keep, it's a lot of preservatives that's in it in order for it to have shelf life. Some of these
Exactly.
things are on the shelf for way longer. It would shock us to know how long it's been on the shelf before we get it and keep it on our shelf for a while. you
Exactly.
know. And so these it's a lot of salt in content in order to used as a preservative to give it that long life. But then it helps
Exactly.
to shorten yours, especially if you take in too much of this.
Mhm. And what I wanted to share too, Miss Angie, while you're preparing to share your thoughts, for those of you that I was looking on here, I said, okay, I just want some pictures of processed foods, right? And so I clicked on unhealthy, unhealthy. Now this is a Google search, okay? This is how we do it around here. We go out
Mm-hmm.
and we get this information, and these are some of the processed foods that we're eating every day that are not healthy for us. And we're not just saying this on news you can use. We're showing you what Google, okay? Take it up with Google. Don't take it up with me, or take it up with the manufacturers. These are processed foods that they say that we should avoid. Here alone, it says 17 processed foods to avoid by bodynutrition.org. And I'll go ahead and click on it. So this is what we want to share with you. This is nothing new under the sun, okay? It is unequivocal, and I'm going right to it. Here you go. This is the article that was done by Peter Dizems, okay? And it was written by John Davis. And this article shares all these processed foods that are not good for the body. And you see that little cupcake down there? Can y'all see that? I
Yeah.
used to tear
I
those
love
cupcakes
those.
up. I just used to tear those cupcakes up because I didn't know no better. But like Maya
Yeah.
Angelou said, when you know, or Angelo, when you know better, you do better. So thank you,
Yeah.
Angie. So anything that you want to share on processed foods, Angie?
Basically, just as Hillary had said, really processed food, it has been altered, whether it's with canned foods, frozen foods, for baking and even for drying. And we're not saying that not all processed foods are unhealthy, but most processed foods do contain a high level of salt, sugar, and fat, and that's what we were talking about. And so we want to limit our sugar intake. For a healthy diet, we want to try to have less than 10% of sugar um, in our whole entire diet for the day, right?
Mm-hmm,
Uh, and even when it comes to salt, when
mm-hmm,
you're talking about salt, you have only um, so many milligrams per day that we should have,
mm-hmm.
and we want to even one way to minimize or limit the amount of salt is of course how much salt you use when you're seasoning your foods,
Mm-hmm.
even if you are choosing processed foods. For example, I use a lot of canned beans, some canned vegetables. Most of the canned vegetables are canned beans, so I
Right.
always read the labels to check the sodium level. If there's 0 milligrams, then that's even perfect, right? Um, but we want to try to limit that. When you see anything less than 140 milligrams, that's even better. So a lot of times when you do read those labels, you'll see a lot of the foods, the sodium content is very, very high.
Right.
So it's best to add it yourself than buying something that's consumed with so much salt that leads
Mhm.
to health illnesses like having a heart attack. So I'd
Right.
rather control when my heart is it's going to beat more than it needs to
Mhm.
than something than eating foods that I can't control.
Right. And so I wanted to ask something about simplicity because, like Hill said, it's summer. People want to be out. They want to do something a lot. And summer is synonymous in my mind, and has always been synonymous with hot dogs, hamburgers, grilling out.
Yeah.
A rib or two,
Yeah.
and when we're kids, they give us a lot of hot dogs and hamburgers, and then when you get in your teen years, you'd be like, let me get a rib, let me get a rib. And so then you graduate to the other summer food, but a lot of people, I've been hearing a lot of people, Hillary, I've been hearing a lot of people say that I don't want to cook, or it's just too much. I want to make something simple. And what I see with you, Angie, I see this all the time, that you are always making something simple,
Mhm.
easy, nutritious, healthy, simple. Um, and for those of you that a lot of people say that women of color shouldn't have cheese. So you may say, well, that's not healthy. Well, if it's vegan cheese, or you can take the cheese off. But I want to talk to you about the simplicity of making something quick without going out to a fast food restaurant. So can you tell us a little bit about what this is?
Yes, this is a quesadilla, and one of one of my favorite things that I love to do. I have a passion of cooking for one, but I like to minimize and also clean out the pantry. So
Hmm.
I like to, instead of going out and spending money to make things, for a recipe, if I'm looking for a recipe, if I have a mood for something, I look to see what I have first.
Right.
Most of the times, I may not have a craving for something. I just open up the fridge and to see what do I have. And so this day here, I happen to have chicken already made. We
Hmm.
made some pulled chicken, and
Hmm.
then I figured, okay, well, I have tortillas. I
Hmm.
will, and I had some cheese. I can make a quesadilla, or I can make it as a taco. I can do a chicken salad or anything. So this day here, I decided to make a Southwest chicken quesadilla. What makes
Mm-hmm.
it Southwest is just some of the seasonings. Although you can't really see it, there's some black beans in
Mm-hmm.
there. Um, I'll make my own salsa and add the salsa and mix it up with the chicken to flavor it. I'll add some garlic and some onion, so you can't really see it that's mixed in with chicken. Then I garnish it with some cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then even on top, you see it's garnished with cilantro. So I like to use a lot of fresh herbs as best as
Mm-hmm.
possible.
Mm-hmm.
And the more is better rather than using dried herbs. But dried is just as good.
Okay, and I like that. And as many people know, cilantro in and of itself, it may have amazing health benefits where it reduces the risk of heart disease, diabetes, obesity, seizure severity, as well as raising energy levels and a healthy hair and skin. So that's great. That
Right.
is great.
So the
So,
about this,
mhm,
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, is that it has no salt, right? So the
right.
salt really comes from the cheese, right? Because
Mhm,
cheese already has its own.
right.
The
Mhm,
seasonings that I used is I like to use cumin for anything that's more of a Mexican flair. I use cumin. I use
right.
paprika. I
Mhm,
like to use onion powder, garlic powder,
mhm.
turmeric, and black pepper.
Awesome, awesome. So Hillary, I know she's always sending you some good stuff too, and I know she sent you this one. So I'm gonna let Hill put you in the hot seat for that. Hill,
Okay.
What I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I know I'm looking at fish and some greens.
Mhm.
Is that what is? I don't know what that is over in the corner. What's that?
Uh, it's rice and
Oh, that's rice.
that's rice and some.
but what kind?
It's a Japanese short grain rice. So Japanese rice,
Hmm.
it's always short grain and it's a lot more glutinous, so it's stickier. And on top, I always have a seed blend. I make a seed blend of sesame seeds that gives you the vitamin E because that's the Asian part of me. But the other seeds that go with it is chia seeds, flax seeds, and hemp seeds. So those other three seeds provide the omega 3, 6, and
Hmm.
9. And I always use that as a topper for everything, really. So that's
Hmm.
kind of a garnish for the rice.
Hmm.
The collard greens I always make sometimes on the stove. Most times I just use an instant pot. I like to add fresh garlic in there as well with some apple cider vinegar. And the mackerel always like to bake it in the oven. Mm-hmm.
So you're coming from a Japanese background.
Hmm.
Yes.
A lot of us, when we see greens, we think, okay, so where's the cornbread?
Hmm.
Where's the cornbread to go with the greens?
Yes. I did
So,
not grow up.
from the Japanese background, they don't use. They're not much into breads. You would come to think of it.
Yes, they don't eat as much breads. Most meals pretty much has rice as a side because rice is a great carbohydrate,
Hmm.
and when we think about a Japanese lifestyle, Japanese always move, right? You
Hmm.
don't have a lot of Japanese that own cars. There's more Japanese that own cars today, but even if they do, they still do a lot of movement. What I mean is that they're
Oh.
doing a lot of walking for wherever they go, right? So they
Mm.
com- those that don't have cars or don't work close enough, they commute. So they walk to the train station or to the bus station. Or if they're not walking, they might be taking a bicycle to get public transportation and they're walking to that next destination. For
Hmm.
children, sometimes they might have two bicycles. They might have one bike on the front end and another bike on the latter end because depending on the distance from the train station to their final destination, instead of paying for another public transportation to get there, like you get off a train and take a bus, they might still take another bicycle. And their bicycles,
Mm.
they have an internal lock system with a little
Hmm.
key that they have with a bike parking right there at the train station, so it's very, very convenient. But they're constantly moving, so the carbohydrates really helps them to maintain that energy throughout the day.
Okay. I was just thinking while you were talking and about our topic tonight, summer wellness. Our bodies intuitively uh, we require to consume different foods in the summertime than we would in the wintertime. And this is something that's internal. Most people probably don't even think about it, that there is just like your body clock can reset. Our appetites reset for the summer. Into it just by because God said so long ago.
Yes, we eat a lot of foods that are lighter. We also eat a lot that keeps us cooler. Winter foods, a lot of the foods that we might eat, they help us to keep warmer. So we eat a lot more starchier foods, right? Vice
heavier foods.
Right? Foods that are much lighter. We tend to eat a lot more vegetables that are cooler, like you talked about, cucumbers and tomatoes, radish, a variety of greens, really, and more so that doesn't take as long to cook. It's
that
quick.
too.
Stir fries, absolutely. So,
and so and I wanted to share. Go ahead, Hill.
Oh, farmers markets. Do you go to farmers markets? I love that. That's another thing I look forward to during the summer months, going into the fall, is farmers markets and getting fresh from the farm vegetables and fruits. I just love it.
Yep. And here's something I found that was very interesting. And then you said it. Summer bearings include a lot of green vegetables, melons, peaches, corn, mangoes, and other fresh and fragrant herbs. Local markets are at their best during the summer when fruits are abundant and vegetables are fresh as can be. And I thought that was interesting because I pulled it up and then you said something about the markets. And here's the thing. The markets do us great, especially when we go to it. They have good replenishment because when people are going to these fresh markets, they're using that stuff. So they're not going to be selling a whole bunch of vegetables and fruits that are not health or are not good, I should say. So, we have a lot of summer foods. So I wanted to share some of the summer foods. There's an article that talked about 21 essential summer foods to eat. And guess what one of those summer foods were? Anybody know? Cucumbers. That's right. That's right. All right. And how about
I heard
this?
a guy. I'm sorry. I heard a guy on Instagram. He was sharing from his garden, and he was talking about cucumbers. And I just love the way he said it. That's where that comes from.
Cucumbers.
From Jamaica.
I'll go back and answer Hillary's question about going to farmers market. Due to COVID, I haven't really ventured out to go to farmers market. But before COVID, I always liked seeking out farmers market because they're always everywhere. I grew up with my mom always having a garden everywhere we live. And so summertime, definitely, we're always pulling from the garden. So there's always salad or there's always some type of fresh vegetable that we might consume in our meals every day. So there's always tomatoes, there's always cucumbers and peppers galore, so we might them definitely in a salad, definitely in a stir fry. Yes.
And I wanted to share this with you guys because Women's Day did an article, and this is what I wanted to share with you about the article, the 21 foods, the summer foods that they shared. And Angie, you talked about the garden. So I can identify with what you're saying. But one of the top foods is watermelon.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of people would say, "Oh, that's a black food." I'm sure some of y'all heard that. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
black food. No, it's not a black food. It's a God food. God created it.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
right.
Ooh, that
And
looks so good.
exactly. And tomatoes. Lycopene gives tomatoes their bright red color. Lycopene is great for your body. And then here, zucchini is
Yes,
number
I love them.
two. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I love it. And there it is, the watermelon, which is great for you. And I prefer seeded watermelons. I prefer seeded anything over to other than foods that have been modified. Uh,
Yes, exactly.
oranges, oranges,
Yeah.
great for the body. Uh, and yogurt. Now we have to be careful with yogurts too because some yogurts have more sugar in it than you could imagine.
Mm,
And then,
yeah.
of course, fresh celery. I love
Celery.
fresh
Yes.
celery. It's good for the kidneys because it stimulates your kidneys and it causes them to flush the waste out of your body. And so I've added the link to this so you can not only see the summer foods but also the benefits. And then this is fresh fennel. Fennel is great.
Mm.
It has fiber, potassium, and vitamin C. It's just great for you. And then I'm not a cantaloupe
I
eater. How about
love
y'all?
cantaloupe. I
Ah,
prefer
really?
cantaloupe over watermelon.
Mm.
Wow, wow.
It's
You know,
good in a smoothie
mhm.
too. It makes your smoothie really, really creamy.
Mhm.
And you know all those fruits, the cantaloupe, the watermelon, and the honeydew, it's a diuretic. Okay, and it
Yeah.
helps your body get rid of extra fluid and salt in your body. So if you're having high blood pressure or anything like that, you may want to consider, okay, because of salt intake. You may want to
Yeah.
consider eating some of these fruits because it'll help get that out of the body. And now we're not
Exactly.
medical doctors, so I want to share that with you. Although we're not medical doctors, we're sharing with you what we know. And so we are not medical doctors, so please consult with your physician prior to taking any supplements or doing any exercise or anything like that because we want to make sure that you do your due diligence to look after your own health because health is wealth. And so I wanted to stream back to this because we're almost done. We're at 8, and then 9, the honeydew melon, and then 10, blackberries. Who loves blackberries?
Mm.
I
Lots
love
of
them.
berries. Yep.
Vitamin A, C, and E. So again, that's another summer fruit. The raspberry, vitamin C. Um, apples are great for you as well. It has pectin in it. It's phenomenal for your body. And pears is great. And then this is what, Angie?
Figs.
Figs.
Yes.
Aye.
Figs.
Do you
I
guys eat figs?
yes.
Yes.
I never. I
Ooh.
most times when you think about figs, I think about fig Newtons, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
But I never really tried any fresh figs until when I was in Japan. I was attending a conference. While I was there, we had other people coming from all over. And I want to say someone that was from the States talked about how she loved figs. And I knew at that time that figs were in season. So I said, well, if I find some at the grocery store, I'll bring you some. Because she's like, oh, I just miss figs because she was from California,
Hmm.
and I brought it to her. So then I tried some as well. I was like, oh, this is really good. It's like, oh, wow, this actually tastes like a fig Newton in its own way, right? But then I was like, wow, I actually like it better fresh.
Hmm.
I have to
Awesome.
try it.
Awesome. And so then we have nectarines. Nectarines. So
Love those.
yeah, they are delicious. And then we have peaches. Peaches are
Mm.
great. And I used to like say, "Oh my God, I can't wait for the summer because the peaches would be there." And then here we have some strawberries.
Yes, yes.
Lovely. And then blueberries are great for you as well.
That's
Yummy, yummy,
good.
yummy. And
So
then nuts.
can't I didn't want
Mhm.
to I didn't mean to interrupt, but if
Yes.
you can't get it fresh,
Yeah.
then frozen is always a great substitute. And even
Right.
snacking on them,
Mhm.
snacking on frozen fruits.
Yeah.
Blueberries, cherries are awesome frozen. They
Yeah.
they melt right away,
Wonderful.
and even pineapple, so you can
Yes.
still enjoy it in its icy form.
Right. And the thing about pineapple as well, pineapple is great for the digestive system. And the
Yeah.
blueberries, they help to lower your risk of heart disease and cancers, and they can also reduce inflammation as well. And this is according to WebMD, so it's not just us saying that. We're backing it
Yeah.
up with a myriad of doctors. WebMD, a group of doctors come up and they say, "Hey, this is what's good for you." Okay, and so here's something, Angie, that out of the 21 foods that I know that you use a lot of is the avocado. And the avocado is a superfood, and I know you use it. So, can you tell us about the avocado and tell us about this dish right here? This dish right here. I'm about to, some secret sauce, y'all, some secret sauce.
Um, it's another quesadilla basically, and I always top quesadillas with avocados if I have them. This one actually even has some kimchi. You can see in the picture underneath
Mhm.
the cilantro and the avocado, you might see like a little bit of red. Uh, it's actually kimchi. So I try to have some type of fermented food. So I like to buy kimchi.
Mhm.
My mom used to make kimchi a lot at home, but right now I just like to buy it. I do make my own um, sauerkraut,
Yes.
Yeah.
and so I like to throw those into various foods. Like recently, I threw in some uh, um, some sauerkraut in a soup. Uh, but with avocado, I like to sometimes even just having it with a boiled egg. Just taking a boiled egg, chop up some avocado, and just eat it together, just like that.
Oh,
No,
wow. That's great.
I just started eating avocados in the last couple of years.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Before then, it was like, no, I don't like that. I had to really uh, bring myself out of saying I don't like something that I never tried. And I know there
Right,
are a
right.
lot of people like that that say you
Mhm.
don't like something because you didn't grow up with it. But I
Right.
Right.
found when trying to better my health,
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, try something new.
Mhm.
Just try it, and if I don't like it because I actually tried it, well, that's a whole nother story. But I have
Exactly.
found that I have been able to incorporate so many different foods that don't have labels.
Yes,
Mhm. Yes.
and I like to make my own
Yeah,
well. So most people will affiliate avocados with
that
guacamole.
looks good. I
Yeah.
love colorful food,
Yes,
colorful
Yeah.
plates.
Yeah.
Mm.
it comes to foods, and that's, I guess for me, it's the Japanese way. They use a
Mhm.
lot of color
Mhm.
because if
Mhm.
it's appealing, then if it looks good to eat, then 9 times out of 10 it
It
is.
is. Right.
So I
Yeah,
also
yeah,
use varieties of colors because then they gives you all of your vitamins and minerals that you need.
Mhm.
yes.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Angie, I was going to say something about the color. I noticed that you do a lot of color, but you do a lot of nuts, a lot of vegetables, and I see some beets peeking out right there, which
Hmm.
are great for you. And I've had the luxury of eating lots of things that you prepare. And I know that the last week I was suffering with a head cold, and it was just terrible. I lost my voice and everything. And you ended up bringing me some chicken soup that you had made from a couple breasts of chicken that you pulled them apart, and man, I got to tell you, it was just phenomenal. So I'd like to, if I may, I want to pull that up and I want to share it with the folks because I'm not sure if this one is it, but here is a chicken soup that you did make before. And again, you've got the chicken soup, you've got the bok choy, you've got the mushrooms, and just a myriad of vegetables. And I got to tell you, I felt a lot better after I ate that. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, recently I made a base. I used the Instant Pot. That's like my best friend when it comes to using chicken.
Is that like a crock pot?
It's like a crock pot. The Instant Pot is a combination. It can be used as a slow cooker crock pot or even as a pressure cooker. So it's more so as a
Oh,
pressure
got it. Got
can
it.
use it for slow cooking as well. And it
Right.
has various. Mine has various buttons and for various things. So you can cook meats with it. You can cook soups. You can make porridges. You can actually boil eggs in them. There's a saute feature. So you can. This is a simple instant pot where it's a all in one. So
Right.
Yeah.
you don't have to saute something on a frying pan on the stove and then add it to your pot. You can do it right there and add it. You can even make spaghetti in just one pot without having to boil noodles,
Okay.
make your soup. You can actually just
Yeah.
if you use ground meat, you can ground it right there and saute it first in the saute feature. Add the dry noodles, add your sauce on there, add whatever seasonings. If you want other vegetables, you throw it in there with some water, and within 10 minutes, you have one pot spaghetti.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. And the one pot is amazing. I'm telling you, it's
And so that
just
chicken
phenomenal.
that you talked about, basically, I just took chicken and I shredded it. Um, when I make the chicken in the instant pot, I always throw in a lot of water to make a chicken stock, and I'll throw
Mhm.
in some fresh garlic and fresh ginger in there. Sometimes even, I think this time I even threw in onions as well because all three is very good for when you have a cold. It helps to open up
Right.
your
Yeah. I
lungs.
was going to say that ought to open you up.
Yeah, helps to
Oh
open.
yeah.
So then to add more to it, I actually added a little bit of uh,
Mhm.
in chili powder. So you add a little bit of a spice. Uh,
Yeah.
and
Awesome.
mm, and then I think
And
on
that's
the,
good. Mushrooms.
yeah, I'll add
Yeah.
Mushrooms is another thing. I'm sorry
go ahead.
Mhm.
that I never was. I would say no. I don't eat that. I don't do mushrooms. But a friend of mine, she made a pizza.
Yeah.
She fixed a pizza, homemade pizza in a pan in a skillet,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
and she watched me eat one piece, then another piece. Then she said, "I thought you said you didn't like mushrooms," and I was like, "I don't like mushrooms." She said, "You know, there's not meat in there. That's all mushrooms," and she had
Yep.
chopped it up and everything. And I was like, "Well, I guess I do like mushrooms." That kind of broke me from the whole mushroom thing. But sometimes they're good to use as a to give
Yeah.
you that texture of meat when you're trying to just do better because it takes your body so long to digest meat
It
that I
does.
think sometimes we all need to take times where we just give our body, a rest from eating so much, especially if we eat a lot of meat.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. And there again, it brings us back to the summer wellness. A
Yes.
lot of times people say that they gain weight in the winter and they lose weight in the summer. One, I think primarily is because they're more active. Um,
Yes.
and not only are they more active, but also because they're not eating as heavily. And I think both of you actually alluded to this earlier. People are just not eating the way they normally would eat if it was the winter time, because typically we're staying in more on the winter. And even like this soup I'm showing right here, this soup, even though it's summertime, I had a summer head cold. So
Yeah.
it worked out perfectly. So yeah,
Yeah.
it worked out
And
perfect.
with the summer heat, you just a lot of times feel like eating. Sometimes you don't feel like
Exactly.
eating when it's so hot. You want something that's
Exactly.
going to be easy and light and not going to have you feeling even worse along with the heat. I know we've had some um,
Yep.
consecutive 90 days heat that
Mhm.
can really wear you down and make you
Yes.
lose your appetite for eating because you rather if it's between being cool and eating
Hmm.
sometimes you still go for that cool. Let me give me some water, some cool to
Yep.
drink, and I'll be all right.
That's right. That is so right. So look, we're almost we're actually a little past the top of the hour,
Oh,
and I was
7-11.
continuing to. Yeah, wow. The hour flew by. But Hill, you talked about pizza. I heard you talk about pizza, and
Yeah,
I've got to say again, pizza is a year-round food, but I
yeah,
think that we see a rise in pizza sales when the summer comes as well. So
yeah.
um, I was home recently and I had a vegan pizza. My nephew is a
Mm-hmm.
vegan, and I said, "Hey, I'd like to try some vegan pizza." And I hadn't had any pizza, I think, since the pandemic came because I don't go out, I don't eat out from different places or what have you. And so he said, "Okay, I will order a vegan pizza." And so he did. And I got to say, it was marvelous. And I actually had a picture of it because Angie had some. And I'm scrolling down, folks. I'm looking for it now, see if I can find it. Um, and I don't see it right now, but that's okay because I'm going to take a sneak peek right back to her Instagram page. And for those of you, she talked about her being the captain of the team, the rugby team there in Japan, and there she is, and look who's there, me and Hillary, right on a previous show, and yay! And then here are some of the wonderful foods that Angie
Oh,
makes.
yes,
Just
yes.
a myriad of wonderful foods. And now, Angie, I know that you don't profess to eat totally 100% clean, but most of your diet is composed of fruits, vegetables, and things of that nature, and fish. It looks like you eat a lot of fish, chicken, and I don't see much red meat. And is there a reason for not much red meat?
Um, no, I mean I grew up eating everything, all meats, and as I got older, I just because I start, I didn't. Although I was playing sports, but then the more and more that I went away from playing more active sport, then it was less movement. So I felt that I didn't need to eat a lot of the same foods. So
Right.
I had limited my red meat intake, or eating beef and pork, and just limiting it more so of chicken, turkey, and fish. And I mean, I can go without meat as well and just be fine with fruits and vegetables and pasta or and grains really. And then even with when it comes to grains as well, because I don't need to consume as much rice or pastas, I may not eat as much as well.
Right. All right. And I see you just have a full gamut of things.
Yes, yes.
You've got pomegranate. I saw you did a pomegranate and pear mix down here with there was a right there. What is this right here?
This is Asian pear, it's persimmon and pomegranate. And
Wow.
this was
I
during the
never tried persimmon
yes, this is during
except
the
for orange.
persimmon is more of an Asian fruit,
Hmm.
season during the fall,
Hmm.
as well as the Asian pear. And one day I just had it. I think I might have looked at a recipe combination, and I happened to see those two together. So I threw it together, threw in the pomegranate, add a little bit of cinnamon. I think
Hmm.
even just a touch of honey,
Hmm.
and that was it. It was delicious.
Wow.
So
And
the
I'm noticing that a lot of your meals, you have a lot of leafy greens of some sort. And it looks like you've got some, is that radish, that pink stuff right there?
that is red ginger.
Red ginger. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I've never
Um,
seen red ginger.
Yes, it
wow. And it's just amazing. I'm seeing a myriad
a lot
of
of
all different types of foods there. Wow. So I know that you prepare some of these meals, and I've had the luxury to eat these meals with you many times, and some of them I prepare too. But I tell you, um, it's just phenomenal. And so I'm looking forward to the program you're getting ready to do. That's going to help people with their intake. It's going to help people get more water. I know you're an affiliate of Naturally Plus, and you really stress water intake. So we're really looking forward to it. And so, folks, those of you that's just coming on, thank you so much for coming on. We've got the phenomenal Miss Angela Elting. She's the founder of Rugger Wellness, and she let us have some access to her Instagram page. And these are some of the foods that she prepares. And I gotta say this, Hillary, you know this as well. Um, I was overweight before the pandemic happened. I was running, walking, or biking about 4 miles a day. When the pandemic hit, okay, um, I became sedentary more so. So many of my meals were, here at my desk. But with the meals that Angie shared with me, and the diet she got me on, especially you see that right there, that kimchi. I love kimchi, and a lot of stuff. What you see is fish. Got on that, and I didn't call it a diet. I just ate healthy, and you
Yeah.
can see this is fresh cabbage, and I actually made that cabbage salad, and I think she made the fish, but it was a lot of healthy things, and she helped get me food that really focused on my brain, eyes, lungs, muscles, skin, heart health, and all those things. And I dropped almost 20 pounds in a short amount of time. And it was
Mm.
just because, and I made crabs, y'all, for her birthday. That was it. But it was just because of foods like this, fresh foods that really help your diet. And can you have other things other than that? You sure can. But for the most part, it's how she blends it. So, wow, Angie, thank you so much for letting us peruse. I see shrimp and grits and all that, and I continue to see water, Naturally Plus water, and Naturally Plus Miracle Plus, and all that on your page. So thanks, Angie, for sharing that. And there's that pizza. There's that vegan pizza that we had at
Okay.
at my mom's house. All of that you see, including the dough. The dough is made out of chickpeas.
Oh, okay.
Amazing, amazing
I know
pizza.
they do cauliflower crust.
Yes. Yep. So, hi Nelson. We are happy to have you here. We see you. What is the website? Okay.
Do they
So,
ship?
Angie, I'm going to and do they ship? So, Angie, go ahead and talk to Mr. Nelson. He wants to know if you have a website up yet. Do you have a page, and do you ship what you prepare?
I do not have a website. Everything is all. I have a Facebook page, which is the Rucker Wellness, and there I post mostly on my Naturally Plus business of the Izumio hydrogenized water and the supplements that we have. But the foods that we create at home, it's not something that I ship, but I can assist you, as a consultant, if you're looking at how to change your eating habits. So I don't like to use the word diet as well, but I can assist you with eating healthier so we can help to alter that. And it's really a mindset like everything else. It's a mindset. You just have to start slow, and you just have to plan. So Lotus will provide my contact information, so this way we can kind of talk and see what it is that you're wanting to make some alterations. I'll be happy to.
Exactly. Exactly. Fantastic. And so I'll go ahead and I'll give you Miss Elting's information right here in the chat on your side of the chat so that you can connect with her. So give me 1 second and I'll bring that up for you.
So you can contact me by Facebook or even by email, and and I'll be happy to assist with anyone when it comes to healthy eating, even with exercise as well. I'm looking to provide information on the Facebook page on doing challenges. I did a challenge with Hillary a couple months ago, and I mentioned about a squat challenge, and so she put it on her page, and that went very, very well. And
Yeah,
I'm looking to
It
kind of do
did.
it again because it really helped my. I had a knee injury from playing rugby, and when I did that squat challenge, it helped to strengthen my knee tremendously. And the last month, because I didn't really do as much exercise, my knee kind of weakened. So I'm getting ready to get back to doing that again. So.
yes. And Angie, he also had another question about the exercises. So yes, she has a program. And well, Angie, you tell him about your upcoming program.
I don't have it established yet, but one of the programs that I'm going to be sharing is one of my favorite exercises is called 100 abs. Basically, it's doing 100 abs every day. And we're not talking about doing 100 sit ups. We're not talking about doing 100 crunches. We're talking about, so we're just kind of getting started with your core. And your core is everything, your stomach area, from the front, the side, and your back. And it's really, really simple to do. You basically choose 10 exercises. So whether you're sitting, whether you're laying down, or even when you're standing up, you can even Google a lot of these, but I'll share them on my Facebook page, but choosing 10 exercises and only just doing 10 repetitions. Because if you think about it, when you just do 10, it's comfortable. It doesn't hurt when you do 10. Well, when you do another 10 of the same exercise, it might be okay. It might be you can start to feel the contractions of your muscles. Some of it might be your core muscles, some of it might even be your neck, depending on what type of exercises that you're doing. When you think about sit-ups, after a while when you do too many of them, you tend to hurt your back, you tend to hurt your neck more than anything else, and then you're not really working and engaging your abs. So what I do is I choose 10 and I'll introduce 10 exercises, and so they concentrate on the front, the side, and the back. You just do 10 reps, and once you've completed them, you basically just say you've completed it for the day. And we do this every day. It's all about consistency. When I first started doing this and sharing it with my friends, I actually did see results by the end of the week. I actually lost inches, and I could see the difference right away. So the easiest way to do this is what I encourage is doing it in your bed. And you're thinking, well, isn't that counter conducive to do any kind of exercise in your bed? But if you think about, if you haven't done much exercise and you're just getting started, you want to be comfortable. Well, when you starting up at the day, you're sitting up, right? Well, you figured, well, lay back down and do 9 more. So then you've got 10 under your belt already, right? Um, so you can do that. You can lift your legs. You can turn to the side and do the same exercise that way. Turn on your stomach. So you're comfortable. You're not straining any part of your muscle. When you do this on a daily basis, more and more your abs will start to contract and your start to strengthen. Then you'll be able to move on to laying on the floor and it won't hurt as much.
Exactly.
Got to
So
do it.
awesome. So awesome. Thank you for sharing some of that with us. And Nelson, thank you for asking that question. So if you want more of what you just heard, you're going to have to go ahead and connect with Miss Angie Elting. Go on over to her page and check her out. Connect with her. I've already put the link in on your side of the page. Go ahead and connect with her and just get going on what you need to do for yourself. And we've got someone, Takako Matsudaira. Hey, how are you doing? Where are you coming in from, Tux? And she said, you rock, Angie. Awesome.
Yes.
And she said she's even watching with her daughter. Awesome. Fantastic. So we are at we are beyond the top of the show. And so we want to thank you, everyone that has come on. Thank you, Angie, for giving so much great information. Here you go. He's got a question for you. He says, does she do anything for range of motion?
Yes, I can assist with that as well. Having played sports for over 20 years, 20, 30 years actually, Takako, she's also a former teammate, rugby teammate. And when we played rugby, you learn to become even your own personal trainer with the guidance of a trainer as well. So I've learned a lot of techniques, and so I can assist you with that as well.
All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. So, secret sauce of the day, get on board, connect with Angie, go ahead and private message her, DM her, however you want to call it, and get on board. Get signed up for her 100 Abs with Angie program that she'll be releasing here soon. She's coming back to the show in the next couple of weeks, and she's going to tell us, you know, the launch is going to happen right here. So make sure you're here with more news you can use it. So with no further ado, we're not even going to go to a commercial near you. We're going to go right to Final Words of Wisdom with Angela Elting. So Angie, would you please share your final words of wisdom?
Yes, Lolo, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Hillary. You both are fabulous. Thank you for letting me put you in the hot seat from the very, very beginning. Summer is the greatest month of the year. It's my favorite season. I like to get out and have fun, eat lots of food, great tasting foods that I like to cook from my own kitchen, sharing it with Lotus as well. We'll definitely like to share it with Hillary when we get closer in location. I love to do lots of exercise, having that sporting background, but you too can do the same thing. And it really is a mindset of making that change. So if you're wanting to eat healthy, consult someone that can help you with that, or look at various resources that are already out there. I'll be starting to post various things on my Facebook page, Rugger Wellness, to assist you with that as well. So you are not alone. If you need someone to train with, I'll be happy to train with you. So whether it's on various types of foods, various types of exercise, we can do this together. Together we can do it fun. We can do it easy at your level, however way you want to do it. So one day at a time, I like to think about it as fun and stress-free. So connect with me on Regular Wellness on Facebook and also on email. It's Angie for npusa@gmail.com. And Lotus will put that in the chat for you so you can connect me at any time. So this is still the very beginning of summer. We have a great couple more months ready to go. Even if you're still looking to fit in and have this beautiful bikini figure, depending on what kind of a shape you want it to be in. If you need some help and trying to slim down, let me know and connect with me, and I can help you with your goals.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you, Angie. And we're going right to our queen of the lymphatic bounce with her final thoughts for this broadcast.
Well, tonight we were talking about summer wellness, summer diets. And, you know, we talked about it just a little bit. You want to stay hydrated as well. Make that a point. And to just kind of listen to your body, because your body is going through changes in this season, because it's a different season and our body deals with this season. So if you're feeling like you want to eat foods that are lighter, go with that, you know, and just your body's going to lead you right. I believe that. So as you listen and just make sure that you stay hydrated, try eating more foods that don't have labels. That's what I say. during this summertime, and you'll find that you'll be feeling better every day. So that's what I want to share.
All right, fantastic. And Hillary, we know that you do some things with your clarity. Would you share that?
Yeah, you can get a free 20-minute clarity call. You go to bit.ly/speak with Hillary, just as it's written there with a capital S and a capital H in my name. And we can find out how can we work together. There are so many things that I can do with you and to help your body, help you to have better health and a more vibrant life. Thank you.
All
And
right.
then, well, those are my shows. I'm on this show on Mondays and Fridays. I have my own show, the Vibrant Good Health Show, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then I have the Let's Get Acquainted show every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central and 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure that you're following me so that you can get notifications when I do go live. Thank you.
All right. Fantastic. She dropped the mic just like she liked. And my final words of wisdom, is listen to what they just said when it comes to summer wellness, because actually your health is your wealth. So we thank you and we hope to see you next time. We'll see you next week. On Monday is a holiday, so we may be off on Monday and you can enjoy a replay from News You Can Use. Until we see you again, be blessed and don't stress and stay away from the craziness and the mess. Okay?
That's right.
Mwah. We love you and the higher power loves you too. Have a good weekend and happy holiday. See ya.
Yes, enjoy.
Wow, what an awesome time with the remarkable and intelligent Angie L.T., founder of Rugged Wellness, and of course, the queen of the Black Bound, Miss Hillary Good. We appreciate you joining the show tonight because we like to keep it right and tight. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time. For watching the show, and be sure to follow us on Instagram, like and share, and let us know that you care. Also, let us know what other type of shows you'd like us to present just for you. Thank you.